dedicated, obsessed, focused. This is the Masters of Fitness podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another great episode of the Masters of Fitness podcast. I'll be remiss if I didn't first want to thank everyone for their views. We got 6,000 views from the last video last week. Dad, what you think about that?
6,000?
6,000 views. It's pretty cool. It was so cool that Thad decided to go get this new fancy backdrop that you guys can see. Check that out, people.
I see the lake in my backyard.
The lake in your backyard must be nice. Everybody can afford a lake in their backyard. So, man, I'll have to excuse my attire. I just got through working out, did a mile. My son Ernest actually made me run a mile with him this evening. Wasn't expecting it. So he ran at about he ran an 8-minute mile just now. So I was pretty impressed. So real good.
Did he?
Stuff. Yeah, real good.
Dang, that's pretty good
for a little kid. I know. So today, guys, we're gonna jump right into it. We got no fancy introduction for this show. We have some guests, some wonderful guests. We have some regular folks who've been doing fitness that's going to talk about what they've been doing at home to kind of manage their fitness, manage their diet, and maintain proper etiquette while they've been on this whole quarantine list. So without further ado, if you don't have anything else to add, we're going to bring Miss Adrian onto the screen. She down here excited. She's been pumped up about this all day. Your water bottle just turned into a lake, by the way.
I know. It's pretty cool, huh?
So, all right. Let's see what Miss Adrian's been up to. Adrian, are you there? Hey, what's going on, Adrian?
Yo, Adrian.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You there?
Oh my God.
Yes. What's going on? I'm giving you that. Oh my God. I'm giving you a history. When I was at Sam Houston, Thad, I was Adrian's original trainer. Back then, I used to wake up at 5 a.m. and we'll get workouts in at least 5 times a day. So,
no way.
She holds a special place in my heart when it comes to working out. So I invited her on to talk to us about what she's been doing, her fancy new equipment that she didn't want to tell everybody about. So talk to us about that, Adrian. What you've been doing, how you've been managing fitness over these past 20 days of quarantine.
Okay, so well, first of all, my weight loss journey has been up and down the last few years. I really stopped, but right before the COVID-19 hit, I was on a roll, and I had gotten used to riding in my gym, in my apartment gym. They had a Peloton, and I would ride with my older sister. But I had gotten used to it, and I had started getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going to the gym before work. Whether it would be one of the originally when I started doing it, it was a Peloton workout with one of the workouts you sent me. So either an upper body or a lower body. And so when COVID closing down the gyms, I refused to get further away from my goal. I refused to gain weight during this time because over the last few years, that's all I've been doing is up and down, up and down. So for me, what I've been doing is I actually took the big step of investing into a Peloton bike myself.
Let's mention this. When you invest in your health,
that was what I was fixing to ask.
Yeah, it's not a big step when you invest in your health. That's what we should be doing, right? You did the right thing. You should feel good about that. You should announce that to the world.
So I have a Peloton, and for those who don't know what the Peloton comes with, it comes with so much. A little bit of it has condensed now because the studios are in New York City, and so they do live classes. So if you can catch a live class with one of the spin zone instructors.
Peloton.
Yeah, they do live classes, and then once New York started getting hit, they live classes with just themselves in the studio. And now they have stepped away from even live studios, but all the classes are on demand. Every single class that they tape in the studio is on demand. And so lately what I've been doing right now, my older sister and I, she has a Peloton too. So you can ride with somebody. At the same time, you'll be in the same class at the same time. You can motivate somebody while you're in class with them, give them a high five, like a virtual high five. And so for this month, we did a Tabata course. And a Tabata course, it's a month training. And the first week, it's 5 days out the week. The weeks 2 and 3 it's 4 days, and then week 4 is 5 days. I'm on week 3, and I'm going to start the program. I'll finish the program. So I'm on week 3, and tomorrow is week 3, day 4.
Explain to the people what Tabata. You mean when you say Tabata, you're talking about like the 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off Tabata, or what do you mean when you say Tabata?
So it's like the 2-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
And so sometimes we're doing 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off, or it's 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, or it's a minute on. It's just whatever the instructor wants to do, and you just pushing yourself. And the way to tell you should be and what your cadence should be. Your resistance is how tough you make it, and then the cadence you do. And then a Peloton also comes with other that you can do, and so they have meditation during this time because
no, didn't I actually
in my house, I'm from home now.
So that's good. It's good with enjoying the Peloton. You got it. It was a good investment. So how much? I'm just gonna put you out there on blast. How much are you down since we started the quarantine? Say it again. You breaking up.
Down since March, 30.1 pounds. March, I'm 14.
That is really good. Down 14.1 pounds. What you think about that, Dad?
That's pretty awesome. What I'm wondering, does the Peloton, does it have a camera on it where people can see you?
Yeah. If I'm riding with my older sister, we can share our screens and we can see each other.
So it's kind of like family motivation. That's pretty cool. That's real cool.
Yeah.
So we got the workout. How's the diet been? How you been eating?
It's cool.
Eating good?
So what I've done, which works, I was working out. I just started counting my So and then some days I eat meat, and most days I don't eat meat. That's going to change after the Lenting season. But I pretty much just been, I want to conquer the eating, controlling how much I eat right now. Okay. So I've been counting my calories and drinking this gallon of water, at least a minimum of this gallon of water. Can you see it?
Somebody broke something?
This thing.
What was that?
Babe knocked off my flower thing up here.
Oh, that was a catastrophe that just happened in my kitchen.
That's at Thad's house. So yeah, Thad, come on, house together, brother. We got you embarrassing us in front of the company. Nah. So all right, well that's good, Adrian. Anything? So if you had one bit of advice you would leave for the people during quarantine, what would you tell them?
Not as to be lazy. I think that everybody should be able to achieve or set some goals during this time and become a better person because of this time.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, thank you for joining the show. Hold on, let me make sure I hit the right one. Let's give Adrian a round of applause. Thank you for joining the show. I told you we we're gonna be bad.
Thank you for having me.
So all right, well, appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Adrian.
We'll put you back in the studio for one. Move you back. Hold on, let me see my engineering skills. All right, so that's cool. So recounting what she had. So one thing like we always preach, invest in yourself. So like she said, she took the leap. She got the Peloton bike, which if you think about it, it's not that big of a deal. I mean,
no, that's a lifetime investment.
That's a lifetime. If it's going to make you healthy and make you less dependent on the medical, on insurance, on going to the doctor, then it's an investment overall. So good stuff. And explain Tabata again for the people, Thad, who didn't catch it too clearly.
So the Tabata is typically like in the world that we work out in is 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off. And it's usually like 8 rounds of that. So it lasts 4 minutes or so. But that's nothing in concrete. Like she was saying, they do 40 seconds on and 20 seconds off. The Tabata is just a work rest. It's just the work rest ratio is
okay. I always thought it was only 10 seconds on, 20 seconds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. But that's interesting to know, like, hey, it's just the work to rest ratio that you do, but you got to stay consistent with that prescribed ratio, and it's not it's max effort for that time frame, correct?
Yeah, and it's all about just getting your heart rate up and then utilizing that 10 seconds or the 20 seconds or whatever it is to get your heart rate back down as close as you can to your resting heart rate.
Cool. All right. So yeah, take advice from that. Tabata workouts, invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to spend. Like you said, you might say, who's gonna spend $1,000 on this? Who's gonna spend $2,000? But just imagine what that's gonna take you long term in the long run. So, all right,
that's really not that much.
It's really not that much if you think about it. And to be honest, most of these places are offering on a lot of this equipment 0% interest over a period of time. I mean, you can't beat it. 0% interest. I'm not telling you to go jump out and get credit, but if you got 0% interest, that's like, I remember my cousin once told me, that's like low way at your house. You can't beat that. So, all right, we're gonna get ready to bring our next guest on. If she wants to, Miss LaCadrian, go ahead and unmute her mic. We'll get her on the show and talk about her. She's another one who's been real big into jump, I think, head first into the fitness world back in about 6 months ago. We'll let her talk about her journey and what she's doing now to maintain.
Come on down,
Miss LaCadrian. What's going down? Let's go.
Hello, people.
On Instagram. So introduce yourself.
So my name is LaCadrian Dixon. I started working out in September. I had gained a lot of weight, just eating bad, not working out for a while. Decided to get on it. So since September, I lost about 40 pounds.
Dang.
40, yeah.
And
40 pounds.
Sorry, cutting out.
40 pounds
40
in what,
pounds,
6
and
months?
that's just consistent in working out.
How many days a week you work out?
Yeah. So when the gym was open, I will say that I was probably going at least 6 days out of the week.
So if y'all thought that,
I love the gym.
If you thought I was bad with getting notifications every time somebody does a workout with on your Apple Watch, LaCadrian beats me. Every time I start my watch is like 5 different workouts for the day already. So and plus my sister likes to dance a lot.
Ernest starts his watch as a workout if he's folding clothes or something.
Hey, no, that's not true.
Hey, that's arm movement. That's
arm movement. So I've been noticing you've been doing a bunch of workouts in your garage. So kind of explain to the people the routine you've been following and how you've been sticking with it by not having access to the normal gym that you would normally work out in.
So what I did, I already had a treadmill. I decided to make that purchase like when I first started my journey for losing weight, my weight loss journey. So I had a treadmill before. So I do my morning and evening cardio. I also my garage workouts are mostly resistance bands, jump rope, just really a lot of like hit workouts where I'm just steady going and burning calories. I started running last week. Finished like 6 miles for the first time. So I was excited about that.
That's a good goal, man. Yeah. A lot of people not out here running 6 miles.
No, and good. I sure can remember running 1 mile. So 6 was a big accomplishment for me.
Hey, so just think about it. 6 months ago, how far would you say the furthest distance you ran?
Barely finish a 100-meter dash, maybe at a jog.
So
I wasn't running at all. I was never a runner.
You down 40 pounds and you ran your first 6 miles. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So with losing 40 pounds, you ought to feel like you're just flying around out there. I mean,
Look, say that again.
I mean, 5 pounds to me is just makes a big difference.
It does. It makes a huge difference. Just being a lot lighter on your toes, not having that weight on your knees, everything so much better.
And so when you decided
Yeah.
to make the journey at 6, what was the tipping point? What was the point to be like, I have to change? What made you make the change?
The main thing that made me make the change, we all know we start buying clothes. You think you're still in that same size that you were before, and you're not. So
Yeah.
you realize that size 6 is getting tighter than what it was before. So I would look at some of my pictures, the jeans that I'm wearing, like I had a fupa. It was just like, your outer appearance is starting to show within your clothes.
I always tell people the number one test is the mirror test. You get butt naked, look at yourself in the mirror, and just be like, okay, something got to go. Something has to give. So
it had to go. But that's also motivation too, because what has really helped me is taking my transformation pictures every week. So I would look at what I've done weekly, see, how I've changed. And that has been my goal, what I want to work on each week, each month.
Stuff's been going on, and we've been restricted. What do you think the one thing is that's made the biggest difference since this has been going on?
The one thing that's made a big difference for me is just maintaining a positive attitude. I feel like that if you maintain a positive attitude with just life in general, you can accomplish any goal. So that's with working out, with what you're dealing with being, on your job. A lot of us, I'm a single mom, so I'm here with my kids and trying to work with them with school and all of that. It's a bit challenging. So maintaining that positive attitude can get you through.
So my mindset.
Because trust me, homeschooling kids is not an easy task. I don't know what these teachers think we're supposed to be doing. we got whole lives to live out here. We ain't got time to be teaching these kids too. Shoot, but it's exactly. Do Joel and Joe jump in the workouts with you? I saw Joel jump in the workout with your sister.
Joel loves to work out. Joseph, he gets in every
tell Joe and DJ said, so I'll come get him. So, all right, look.
But I can't say before.
Huh?
No, I was gonna say before COVID-19, he started working out at the gym, so he's doing good.
That's good. All right, so you could leave one lasting message for the people out there. What will Lacadrian tell everybody in the fitness world?
Lacadrian will tell everyone to stay on your diet and just stay active. Even if you're not doing just a workout routine, try to do something each day. Try to walk, try to run, try to get out and move around with your kids, whatever you're doing. Just stay active and stay strict on your diet during this time.
All right. Well,
yeah, that's good.
Can't get no better advice than that. So this lady is living proof that if you put your mind to it, you can get it done. 40 pounds in 6 months. It's not going to happen overnight. You just have to start with day one and use this time, like she said, to just get active and start doing something. So thank you for your time, Miss Lacadrian. We'll put you back into the lobby, hang out with us, and listen to the show. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
All right. So that's pretty darn good. 40
yeah,
pounds.
It is.
6 months.
That's real good.
Yeah, but like you said, it just starts. Like you said, she probably would have never imagined back then that she, at this point now, she'd be running 6 miles. So the challenge back then might have been, hey, let's run half a mile. And then you increase that to now the challenge is 6 miles. So with that being said, people, you got to take it one day at a time. Take it one day at a time. Use this time for quarantine, like she said, to just start being active and use your kids. If you got kids at home, like I say, my son just challenged me to a run, and it turned out to be, it turned out to be a mile. Next thing I know, I got a mile run out of it.
But what do we preach to people more than anything?
Do what you like to do.
Consistency.
Do what you like to do consistently. Yep. Start with day one. So good stuff. Good stuff. Let's bring Mr. Eddie Strickland. See if he's ready to jump in here. That's your buddy, Thad. I'll let you.
Yeah, it is,
buddy, man. Bring him on.
Where is he? There he is.
What's going on, Mr. Eddie? How you doing?
Look how pretty Eddie looks.
You said, look how pretty Eddie looks.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you good.
So, Eddie, I met Eddie at CrossFit Beaumont, and we've he comes to all my Saturday classes. Well, most of them if he don't oversleep. But he's there almost every single Saturday. Him and his wife Tracy, and
Very nice. Very nice people. Yes.
yeah, and you couldn't ask for better people. But they live by, you know, how they walk the walk, talk the talk. I can promise you that.
So Eddie, so tell the people what's been going on these past, I think 21 days we've been quarantined. How you been maintaining your fitness, not having access to a full gym, or what have you been up to?
Well, the good thing about it is with the community that we have with CrossFit Beaumont with Neil and Erica, when they found out that they were actually closed down, they were really good about offering some equipment, so kettlebells, dumbbells. I picked up a 60-pound sandbag, and we have some adjustable dumbbells at the house, and every day, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, they do 3 classes a day, or at least Monday through Friday, they do 3 classes a day through Zoom, which is a 40-minute class. And most of it is body weight or, lightweight that you could find something around the house to use for that. So a lot of it uses a lot of, burpees, push-ups, say thrusters with, if you could find some weight around the house, just something that weighs 5 or 10 pounds, you can really, really get a good hard workout with just the body weight movements. And, the other day we did a workout that I counted it up, and we had about 200 air squats mixed into the workout.
Man,
air squats, and I promise you'll feel that a little
air squat. Something simple as air squats to light you up. It feels good about the first 20.
Yep.
You get to 35, then you're like, okay, yeah, now do I really want to do 100 of these? Do I really want to keep going? So
yeah, but I'm like you, Eddie. These classes, these Zoom classes that they've been putting on, I'm really impressed with what they've done. There's some good workouts.
Well, and they have to do a little value add because that they want to make sure that the people that are in this community, and not to be the CrossFit salesman, but y'all know CrossFit's community. That's their number one selling. So it kind of keeps the community together when you get to see everybody, on the Zoom classes and stuff. But
and a lot of people need that community.
Absolutely. Hey, 100%. I miss them. I miss my people. I call them my people. I miss that. I miss seeing those people and just having those 10, 15-minute conversations with people every day. And really, like you are saying, consistency is my big catchword too. You got to show up and do it. And part of that consistency comes from knowing that those people expect to see you every day, and you want to go see them just to have those conversations and stuff with it too. So that makes a huge difference when it comes to that. Just being able to see people on those Zoom classes. Now, they also do, they call it an at-home workout that's not Zoom, that you do yourself. And a lot of times, the Zoom class is limited to 40 minutes. So that's usually a 10-minute warm-up and 2 12 to 15-minute, workouts, an EMOM every minute on the minute, or an AMRAP, as many rounds as possible in a certain amount of time. The at-home workouts, like tonight's, was run a mile, and then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, all the way down to 1 of thrusters and star jumps. And then you run another mile at the end. Well, that's going to take longer than 40 minutes. So at workout. So they post 3 workouts every day.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
2 Zooms and then an at home.
So it's more than enough to keep you busy throughout the day.
Oh, 100%. Well, it's funny. I was talking to some people, and then they were saying that they might work out more now because they have the free time. they might work out more now than they did doing classes.
I mean, to be
not the same. I was saying that really I feel like I expend about 75% of the energy in the Zoom classes and other stuff that I do actually in the box itself doing the workouts. But that's because you don't have access to the weight and that kind of stuff. It's body weight. But, you can still get a really, really good workout in the 40-minute class, and then doing the afternoon, coming back home later in the afternoon and doing the at-home workout.
Like backtracking a little bit on what you said, just with the air squats and with the body weight stuff like push-ups and things like that, you could get real creative with how you do your push-ups and even do air squats. I think I found out about a Hindu squat. Have you ever heard of that before?
Yeah.
I looked at that today and I tried some. I was like, yeah, that's a legit squat. It's the quad buster.
Oh, it's crazy.
So
where your feet are together.
Yeah.
And is that the one you're talking about?
Are you
you count on your tippy toes.
Yeah, are your heels elevated?
Yeah, heels elevated. Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, that's a calf burner too.
So, like you say, people, we don't, like you say, just because you don't have equipment, you can't let that limit you from the things you could do. Like one of the base things we talked about in our last episode, you could always get out there and run and do. If you run, do push-ups and do ass squats, you got a good workout in for the day. Do 30 minutes of that.
Well, even this, people forget too, is that when you say run, people think, hey, I've got to go out there and run 3 miles.
Yeah.
Don't go out. Mark you off 50 meters, on the street. Get out there and run some sprints and see what happens. Do about 10, 15 meters, see how you feel.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be distance. You can do a different workout, just changing up the distances that you run.
One day you might do like a slow 2-mile jog. The next day you might do 50-meter sprints. Sprint, exactly. Walk back, sprint, walk back, sprint, walk back.
Going out and running distance every day, for a lot of people can get just monotonous after a while.
Yeah.
Change it up, do something different.
So what have you done with your sandbag?
Well, we had a workout the other day that had thrusters in it, dumbbell thrusters, and we've got adjustable dumbbells here. And like I said, because we're CrossFit, people were able to check out a certain amount of equipment. So a lot of people have things that they can do. And even a thruster with, 2 milk jugs, that's 8-pound thrusters. So I did thrusters with the 65-pound or the 60-pound sandbag. And I'll tell you this, a 60-pound sandbag is equal to about a 100-pound barbell. You can definitely you can do that. And I've done one where it's where you take it and you have it at your feet and then you move it and you pick it up and you move it around your head and come back to the ground and switch it. We've talked about it before. That is that CrossFit does a lot of sagittal plane movement. And with that sandbag, I've started adding a lot more transverse movement, so a lot more rotational movement into it. So that
So when you say transverse versus sagittal movement, kind of explain real briefly what that means to the people.
Sagittal plane would be like if you're squatting, the movement is all in the same plane of movement. Like if you put a plane, like if you drew a line between
down up
your shoulders all the way down through your feet. That plane of movement, you're only moving. You're not moving forward and backwards. You're just moving up and down in that same movement plane.
Gotcha.
And, like if you're running in that same straight direction. Lateral movement would be side to side movement. So that would be, if sagittal straight up and down, lateral is side to side. Transverse is that twisting motion, that torque motion is, like Russian twist are a good example of a transverse. Moving from side to side, so there's rotation involved. And really and truly, when you look at it, we live in a transverse plane world. Very rarely do you pick something up and it's all in that straight movement. How many times are you picking something up and you got to move it from one side
move it to one place to another? You're right. And you made a good point. Like you say, that's how we move through space, is with the twisting, the turning. I mean, that's how, if you think about it, that's how our body is made. That part of our spine, our lumbar spine, is made for that type of movement.
So, but some other things too, and I heard you talking earlier to both of the girls that were on early, the ladies that were on earlier, and I'll tell you this, and Thad knows this: diet is my big problem. It's I fight, and I always will. I've decided that's my cross to bear. We've been doing Renaissance periodization, or RP. Tracy, my wife, if that'll tell you, we should have put her on here. I'm just a knucklehead.
Oh yeah,
really.
I think that's the case for all of us and our wives.
Hey, all three. I'm telling you right now. Sometimes I wonder why they married us. 100%. But so that's one of the things that I fight right now is, you've seen the sign too on that people tape inside the refrigerator that says, "You're not hungry, you're bored."
Yeah.
Well, that's me. I snack a lot and and do stuff like that when I'm not hungry. And so that's one of the things with me. Talk about consistency is on this diet. I'm not selling RP. Any eating habit, and I hate to call it a diet because diets have a negative connotation, but any eating habit or eating plan that you use, you got to find it, have a good set schedule. If you meal prep, make sure you do it and try to stick to that, because it's real easy to add an extra 300, 500 calories to your diet a day. Over 500 calories extra a day over a week, well, that's 3,500 calories. That's a pound of fat.
So you didn't took yourself out of your calorie deficit. You're in a surplus just by eating a couple of snacks a day.
Absolutely right there. So
because when it push come to shove, when all things are on the table, it's calorie deficit. Did you burn more than you ate?
In versus calorie out. That's really, really the basic whenever it comes down to it.
Man, that's good. Man, that's good. That's good stuff, Eddie. It's good stuff, man.
One last thing I was going to tell you too is, and Thad'll like this, I found there's apps that you have on your phone for mobility, and I've been doing GoWOD, which is one of them. I'm not selling GoWOD; it's just the one that I picked.
Is it free or how much is it? How much is it?
I believe it's free for the first 15 days.
Okay,
and it's like $10 a month.
Yeah. The thing I like about GoWOD is they have all those movements that you do before you ever even get started, just to determine where you should start.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. So it's like an assessment that you do.
GoWOD, and just to kind of give you an example, I was 58% flexible on my, and they break it down in between body parts, but overall 58% flexibility or mobile. And I did a 30-day trial, and now I just did my retest, and I moved up from 58 to 75% mobility.
And so they could
mobility had my posterior chain mobility moved from 15% posterior chain mobility to 50% posterior chain mobility.
And that's what we need the most.
They test all that in the app.
Yeah, and that's it's all in the app. It tells you exactly what to do, and very, very limited as far as what you
I'm going to download that app right now. What is it called again?
It's called GoWOD.
GoWOD. Look, I'm pulling up my phone now. GoWOD. No, I mean that's when you said the assessment. That's pretty cool right there.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize where your mobility is. Like, I found out that my hip and ankle mobility are really, really high, but my posterior chain mobility is super low. So and it focuses to what you need. If you're posterior chain, then it's going to add a lot more posterior chain. If you need shoulder mobility, it will add a lot more shoulder mobility to what you're
good. And it's good that you say that, because I remember I was listening to one guy and he was saying people just go out there and work on mobility, but you could be working on the wrong thing. You can spend time you can spend time working on your shoulders when your shoulders are actually good, and it's not the limiting factor when your overhead squat is your hips.
That's 100%. Yeah, exactly. So
cool, man. Seems like you got it all scheduled out, Eddie. So
I told you Eddie had it going on.
Oh, Eddie came in with the juice. He came in ready to roll. So Eddie, if you got one thing you can leave the people with during this time, during these last quarantine times, what would you tell the folks? What message would you leave with the people?
Kind of two things. One of them is don't beat yourself up. If you messed up, if you've been bad on your diet, if you've been bad on working out, get back at it. It's okay. Nobody's going to be mad at it. We all want you to get back in there and do it. You got support. We want you to do it. Don't beat yourself up. Just get back to it. So you added 5. Okay, you can work out the next 5 weeks and take a pound off a week. If you haven't worked out, get back out there and start working. And the second one is, and I know y'all are big on this, and I'm huge on this too, consistency.
Yep, that's what we said earlier, consistency.
Say, hey, every day, even if I don't feel like it, like for me, I know right now, Thad can tell you, Wednesday and Sunday are my rest days. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I work out. And you know what? Even whenever this stuff started, we went to quarantine. I was like, I have to stay on that same schedule.
Yeah. Don't want to break the mold. Don't want to break that mental. You want to keep that mental drives that keep you going and keep you wanting to do something.
Habits, those good habits you want to keep.
Good habits. So, hey, man, well, we appreciate your time, Big Eddie, man. It was nice talking to you. We definitely have to bring you back on, man. A lot of good knowledge there. A lot of good knowledge, man. And I just downloaded that app, by the way, so I'm trying it out tonight. So.
It's really good.
All right, man. Well,
thanks, Eddie.
Eddie. Thanks for the time, brother. All right. That was a good one, man. Eddie came. That was I like how they kind of broke down that transverse versus sagittal plane. People don't really think about that when you get in there and you do your heavy movements, compound movements. You go up and down, up and down, up and down. That's it. You think about the strict press, you think about the back squats, you think about the front squats, you think about snatches. You always want to stay in that one clean plane up and down. But just we think about it, the more we move through life and move through this world, our bodies are made with that transverse movement. So it's good to work that with that sandbag. So y'all gonna have me buying too much workout equipment out here at that.
Yeah, we won't even talk about your most recent investment.
We don't talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about. Let's move on. we got two of you. We got two people left to bring on. We're gonna bring on let's bring on Josh for the next. He's been working out down here in this video. We'll give Josh a little quick play before we go to Nick, who's been waiting patiently. Josh, what's going on, brother Josh?
There he is.
Man, I should have been the feature of all this so far.
The feature.
Always. Yeah.
We see you outwork the virus.
They call me Mr. Steal Your Show.
So if everybody don't know, this is Josh, our former podcast compadre, who kind of retired from his podcast, The Flip Side, but I've been slowly prodding at him that's why I got him back on the show so he could kind of dip his toe back into the podcasting water. He thought we wanted to talk about fitness, but I could care less about his fitness stuff. We didn't heard enough about that. So so talk to the people about what you've been doing, Josh. What's been going on?
Man, I don't, like every time I get asked that question, like, what have you been doing? I'm like, I feel like I never have time, yet I have so little to say that I've done. Like, essentially, I've just been working out.
Working out every day I see Josh every day in the garage. Matter of fact, he just left. I was setting up the show. Yeah. Did you close my garage door, Josh?
Yeah, I did.
See, there you go.
Slam that bad boy shut. Woke the neighbors up and everything. Went bed. I've just been over here trying to roll and stretch out. Use that So Right tool. That's so right. My pitch.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So right.
You got one?
Yeah.
Got a So Right?
It was on sale, so $60 for a piece of plastic instead of $80 for a piece of plastic.
Right.
But you read those reviews, man. Everybody likes it. It did loosen up my psoas pretty well. So
that's what that's what us fitness people do. We overspend on stuff that might seem regular to other people. Like $40 for a piece of plastic. Hell yeah, it's gonna make my back work out better. Yeah, I'm all over that. You can sell me that for $100. I'll make it sound good.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. But I mean, I thought that was kind of. I looked up a lot of my symptoms of where my aches and pains were after I would lift or run, and then it was consistent with that. So I haven't ran again yet since my back started really tweaking on me, but it did feel good when I was squatting the other day after I did my first, deep psoas release in there. It was pretty decent. So you're right. What's that?
I said your squat looked good. The video.
Yeah. Whoa, look at that. You just got a compliment from Thad. Thad gives us.
Hey, look, man.
You got to. I've been digging. You might as well just take that and run with it right now. So, because Thad don't put those out too friendly. Ask Nick down there.
People always they're kind of trolling me because I've posted my squats. I'm very open about my squats. Like it's not a strength of mine.
Tell Thad who gives you the hardest. Tell Thad who gives you the hardest time about your squats.
My cousin Shan, but also EJ or Doyle.
No, not me. That'll be Wes Weatherford.
Oh, you're talking about Wes Weatherford? Yeah, that little rascal, man.
Wes doesn't matter. Josh squat every day.
I could drag my ass on the ground and like have a scratch on it, and he'd still be like, "You didn't get low enough." And I'm like, "All right, man, whatever. Like, whatever you say, big guy."
So what workouts you been following, Josh?
Wes don't have no room to talk now.
Man, well, I'll give Wes credit though. The man can squat. He's got some strong legs.
So explain to the people what workouts you've been following. What's been your main focus in regard workout wise?
So realistically, right now, my cousin Shan, she's one of those Zoom people, right? She's a high quality trainer. Man. I didn't realize how I'm telling my Shan story here, but like how high quality. I always knew she was good at everything she did, but then I did a Tough Mudder with her and one of her clients, and the client she specifically trained for that Tough Mudder, and this girl like destroyed me on this course. And mind you, this was back in the early journey of my return to fitness here, so I wasn't quite. I mean, she still beats me today, but the point is, like, I was like, man, she really knows what she's doing. So I started getting into that, and I knew early last year that I wanted to get back into functional training because I was like, man, I haven't ran. Like realistically, I can't run a mile. Like I have to stop. Like I don't know how to control my heart rate and this and that. got into functional fitness, and then the rest is history. Right? I've been squatting, trying to get my depth, mobility, learning it all again as I go, because I realized that I was bodybuilding for 10 years and I didn't even know what I was doing. Like I never even stretched. But so I went from last year basically just straight cardio and conditioning, and then also destroying my legs. Like that was my focus. Is like I got to make these things strong. So all my weaknesses, running, and then legs. So I turned those into my strength by just doing them every day, basically. Like she got me conditioned though, where I could do full body workouts, basically like full wides, where it's not just back and bis or chest and tris anymore. It's like I hit my shoulders, my core, and my legs today. But so my focus now though is now that like, and early this year was training for the High Rocks endurance stuff. So I was doing more, body weight type of movements or rowing and wall balls, no barbells. And that's another, like I've realized that is not a strength of mine, is Olympic lifting and barbell lifting. So I'm a pretty strong guy. Like I can, I just walked into a CrossFit gym realistically a month ago, and I can, do reps of muscle ups now, like just for strength reference, like I'm really there.
He severely sacrificed his hands for that 1 bar muscle up.
Man, I'm telling you, like I trash these bad boys. I got the scars to prove that I earned those muscle ups. But so right now, I mean, like since I was training do the Norbo competition. I wanted to do my first CrossFit competition. I was going to do the novice level because I've never done a CrossFit competition. I might be in a little bit too good at, I don't know, like borderline RX shape maybe, but my strength isn't that great as far as a barbell lift to a standard with good technique. Right. So my squat's the one you guys are going to hear that, I get trolled on the most because I just have terrible, terrible hip mobility, and I am terrified to sit back on those heels. So my focus right now during all this, since I have access to a garage gym anyways, is I've been doing a lot of barbell lifting, like taking it slow on what I'm bad at, which is like snatches and squat cleans. Cause like I want to take it real slow on these lifts. So that way the things that I'm still, strong and can progress with, like the front squats and just back squats, I can still, use as like the staple of my workouts for a good strength training. But that way I'm using lighter weights. Like I did 95 pounds on the snatches and squat barbell.
Josh and Lawrence. I've seen Josh and Lawrence almost every day for the workout. So,
but Josh, 95 pounds for a workout with snatch and stuff like that, and that's not bad.
So that's another thing too, though, is that like I am very ignorant to actually what is like a strong snatch. You know what I mean? So
well, I'm not saying it's strong, but it's good to train with.
No, yeah. I mean, like, because I can't do weights, or like people are like, do your barbell power clean, squat cleans with this, and they're like, throw your hips into it, because that's another weakness of mine. I don't use my hips on it. But I'm like, that's dumb, because like if I throw my hips into it, then the bar goes forward. I'm like, it doesn't, like my brain doesn't register that works well, But having a little bit of weight on there slows me down a lot. So like, if you ever watch my squats, like I have a hard time going down slow. For whatever reason, my brain's like, just drop it like it's hot, man. And then I catch myself at the bottom, and my knees are all wobbling. But if I focus on my dropping it like it's hot or not dropping it like it's hot, then I lose like something else, my back curves, or I don't go quite low enough. I don't engage my hips, and I'm like, man, I guess I enjoy the constant struggle trying to figure out what do I got to correct now.
Yeah, that's what makes you better.
So Josh have used time to find out a lot about himself and his working out.
What is it? No, yeah, I mean, I'm very in touch with my body. My body is
okay, guys. All right,
you guys need a show.
So hey,
I'm gonna turn on Party Boy when y'all leave here. So.
Okay, so you got 10 seconds to give your final message to the people doing this quarantine. What would you tell them? Did you bring the Flip Side podcast back?
Maybe there'll be a comeback in the future. You never know. We'll see. I wouldn't say I've fully got my foot out the door right now. I'm just in the broadcast studio. Like if I was an NFL quarterback, I'm just broadcasting elsewhere right now. We'll see. Will he make a comeback? Maybe. All right,
let's get Josh out of here. All right, that's enough shine for Josh. Thank you, Josh, for dropping in.
Thanks, Josh.
Peace out, brother. All right, so Josh just went ahead and just left. So let's bring on our last guest. One of our good friends, our buddy Nick. He decided to make it in today. So Mr. Nick, what's going on,
there
man?
He is.
What's up, guys?
Look, Nick, he got his little. What happened to the backdrop? You said you was gonna set up in your garage, man. Dad was excited to see it.
It's dark. It's dark and mosquitoes.
Plus, it's getting close to his bedtime too.
I know we ain't gonna
we got 10 minutes.
We ain't gonna keep you too long, though, Nick. So, Nick, so real quick, man, explain to the people what you've been doing. I know you've been you kind of started a new thing with playing around with your workout and your diet and taking a new approach to it, and I've been seeing some pretty good results, man. How did you get there? What have you been doing?
You know, if you go back about 3 or 4 months, I kind of joined a new gym, checked things out, a little new area in town, and at Norbo CrossFit. Highly recommend them for anybody out there looking for a new CrossFit gym. Things were a little different there. Workouts were a little different, and when I went over there with background in CrossFit and stuff that I've been doing, I was struggling a little bit. The reason why I was struggling is because accessory work. I didn't do accessory work. So like as you two know, my lower back would tighten up super bad. Couldn't get through workouts. My strength wasn't really getting that much stronger, So how do you improve, overall health? My diet or my meal plan was there, but it wasn't where it needed to be. So started doing a lot of research, a lot of reading, trying to just see what it takes to get past that plateau where you're at. And I think I was just lacking another piece of the overall
puzzle.
Yeah, of the puzzle. And that was more of the aesthetics and accessory work that you need to complete the whole regimen. So reading and stuff, Dave Lipson out there, he's got some really good stuff for aesthetics. He's trying to bridge that gap between aesthetics and CrossFit. There's a lot of other folks out there that are doing the same thing. But here recently, I guess about 4 weeks ago, I reached out to a local trainer here, Chad Feldman. A lot of folks know him around here, but he helped me dial in some of my nutrition and some of my workouts, and man, it's been great. The last 3 to 4 weeks, haven't really dropped much weight. Gotten down to 14% body fat.
What'd you start off at when you started this?
I don't know. I think I was probably around 20 to 22.
20 to 22?
Yeah. We did that bench press challenge last week. My 1 rep max prior to that was 305, 310, and with 13 reps the other day, that puts it at 319. So I've lost a lot of fat, but I'm staying at my weight and keeping my strength. So
cool, man.
I would say anybody out there wanting to really go to the next level, you've got to do a little bit of both. CrossFit, a little bit of weightlifting, the bodybuilding type stuff.
That's kind of how we have that discussion. It's like all these elite CrossFitters, they look super fit. They look like bodybuilders, but what we don't see is the accessory work that they do outside of just doing a CrossFit WOD.
Right. You see them out there. You watch them on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and man, it's like they're doing 3 and 4 workouts a day. Well, they're not probably showing you all the strength work they're doing on the side of that. Because what's cool to see, the fun stuff to see is the WODs that they do.
The WODs, yep.
Rope climbs and box jumps and running and muscle ups.
It's not fun to see those balancing on a squat ball or doing sit-ups or doing the ab routine.
Yeah, one of my exercises I did on Wednesday, leg day, was on the Bosu ball doing squats. That's not easy.
No, it's not.
That's rough. It's rough.
Man, those things are they'll make you rethink what you're doing.
And explain to the people what a Bosu ball is. You
get in that isolation work where you're really isolating that muscle and you're breaking it down and really getting a lot out of it.
So basically, for people that don't know, a Bosu ball is basically a ball damn near cut in half, and they have air in them, and you stand on them, and it forces you to really, really, really tighten up your core and really focus on your technique, your squat.
I never knew that was called the Bosu ball. What was that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're the real deal, man.
You can do push-ups on them, all kinds of different stuff.
Cool. So tell us. So your diet. What have you changed in your diet so far?
So, before it was timing of carbs, not eating enough protein. I've cut out. I'd eat fruit and stuff like that, where your sugar intake just goes out the roof. Yeah. So just increase my protein, timing my carbs correctly. And eating, one thing that as adults we don't think about, but we really stop eating. as a kid, we always tell the kids, man, how they stay so skinny and they're eating all day long. Well, that's because their metabolism is high. Well, as you grow older, you don't eat very much. You eat 2, maybe 3 meals a day sometimes. Well, what that does is slows down your metabolism. So I started eating every 3 hours again, but it's a lot of food, but it's not a lot of food because I'm still under 2,000 calories a day. So I'm still in that.
So you're still under 2,000 calories?
Yeah.
Man.
But I'm taking in almost 2.5 pounds of meat every day. So it's a lot. It's a lot of food. If somebody was to put it in front of them, it's like, man, how do you eat all that? Well, it's half of what you're probably eating that Big Mac and French fries.
Hey man, I ain't eating no Big Mac and French fries. No. But you're right though, when you say that people that eat one meal and then don't get enough calories for the day, then their body goes into, I don't know if the science is right, but you go into starvation mode. So your body stores that food as fat because it doesn't know when it's going to use it, when it's going to get expenditure again. So if you're not eating enough calories, you become a detriment to yourself. And you're not only losing, and even when you start losing weight, you don't lose fat. Your body is now breaking down muscle for energy. So you like double punishing yourself. You gaining fat and you losing muscle.
Yeah, and because I'm trying to cut fat but yet still gain that lean muscle mass. One of the things I did, I have cut back on some of my high intensity training. So maybe 1 day a week, possibly 2. Yesterday evening we worked out. But my fitness is still,
honestly, man, you're still moving pretty good.
My fitness is still there. My strength is going up, and so we'll see what happens in 4 or 5 weeks.
That's good, man. Look at Nick. Nick's trying to come out of here. Nick's coming out of retirement for you, Thad. He's eyeballing you.
Shoot, man. All y'all passing me way up.
So Nick, man, what message you gonna leave the people before we send you out for during this quarantine time? What would you tell the folks?
Stay active, and coming out of quarantine, I would say that if you're struggling with something or can't figure it out, go talk to somebody that knows what they're doing.
There you go. Seek advice. You're not on your own.
Yeah, because we've all tried different things. You try different diets and different meal plans and this and that. Thad knows. I was at Thad cooked for me for how long? 6 months, something like that.
Oh, every bit of that.
And it was great, and it was really close to where it needed to be, but it wasn't what I was needing. Mm-hmm. And so now it's the same food. It's not anything different, but it's a timing of when I take that food in.
Right. So, you were getting 2 meals, basically 2 meals a day out of me, but now you're eating 6 meals a day.
Yeah. I ate at 7:30 every morning. I eat again at 10. I eat again or 11. Then I eat at 1. Protein shake, or eat again at 4. Eat again at 6 to 7. And then I'll eat here. I'm fixing to go eat here in a second, and then go crawl in bed.
And that's the thing, man. When you just piggybacking off what you said, there's so much free information out there for you to get. So you're not on your own during these times. You don't have to sit there and play the guessing game. You can Google anything, but we prefer you come to Masters of Fitness podcast and get all your wonderful fitness information and submit it. But it's a lot of free content out there. So like you said, you're not alone. You're not on the island. Get out there and be active and do what you need to do.
Yeah, and one, I guess the last piece is the food you eat will determine the results that you will get.
There you go.
So, you go into a CrossFit gym, or you go into a regular gym, or you go into these little boot camps and stuff, and, people are in there trying to lose weight or just trying to get fit. Everybody has different goals. But then some folks will turn around and say, man, what's going on? How come you got 10 people here every day that don't look like they're doing anything? Because it's what they're putting in their mouths.
Yep.
And exactly.
What are they doing? Are you killing your workout before you even start?
You can still eat good food. You can still enjoy your food. You just have to know how to eat it and when to eat it.
There you go. That's right. So appreciate that, Nick. That's good advice. That's not like how Nick ended that. Say that again one more time for the people, Nick, so you can grab onto that. Did you forget it already?
I already forgot it. No, you can still enjoy your food. You can still have, you can cook good food. You can go out and eat. It's about the timing of when you eat it, and making sure that you're not just filling yourself full of a bunch of fat.
There you go. Good stuff, Nick. So
empty calories.
Empty, man. Potato chips, clean
calories.
That is good. It's a good point. That empty calories. So So I think that kind of brings. Let me try something here. Let me see if I can bring everybody back into the stream.
Yeah, they'll all come up.
The show. There we go. So thank everybody. Miss Eddie, McCadron, Adrian, and Nick. Thank y'all for joining the show this evening, for taking y'all time out tonight. Let's give y'all guys a big round of applause. I think that's funny. So we appreciate y'all time. Like you say, download the show. Subscribe to us on Apple iTunes. You can find us at Master Fitness MOF_podcast on IG. Email the show at mastersoffit@gmail.com, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys once again for joining the show.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.